Hello everyone, I'm Sergio, and today I just wanted to, talk about something serious that's been affecting this nation for a while now, and it's immigration. But I'm gonna narrow it down to something more specific. I'm gonna give some information out to some people, and it's regarding, if you're 18 years old or under like high school, and you're just finding out about all this, and you're an undocumented child immigrant that came in, against your will because of your parents, etc., etc. So I do support the Dream Act. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's harsh. It's bad that it hasn't passed yet, and there's no way for kids who, you know, came against their will to go up and be a citizen. But I'm doing this video. The point of it is to give some information out to help out some kids who maybe can get someone who is a citizen of the United States, maybe a relative like parent, to file an I-130 for them. I'm gonna back up a little bit. If you're if your parents or you have maybe someone you're married to, I mean I don't know, it's a possibility, but I don't support it because of papers. If it's a marriage of love, whatever. If you have someone who can file for you an I-130, which means to get you back into the country, then once you turn 18 or before, 18, yeah, or before, you have uh, what's called a grace period. Now, a grace period is you're gonna have 6 months after you're 18 to leave the country if you have someone who can file for you, to leave the country, and you won't be barred for, let's say, 10 years or anything. You won't get any of that because you're underage, and the government kind of understands why. Like, they just give a 6 month period after you're 18 to basically allow you to leave. And if you have a possibility of coming back, like someone can file for you, then you can come back and it'll all be set. Like you'll have a pathway to citizenship. But unfortunately, if this might be bad news to some people. And also, I'm gonna be putting this information down in this description bar. If it sounds like at all confusing, I'll be putting it in Spanish and English at the bottom. So, people who don't really speak English or understand it could read it. Back to the bad news. If you're 18 and 6 months have passed, then before you hit 19, you have a bar. Now, a bar is an amount of time which you cannot come back in. So when you hit the 6 month, when you pass it, you're gonna have a 3 year bar. A 3 year bar, 3 years. If you get out, you cannot come back into the United States. You can have someone file for you and do the paperwork, but for 3 years you can't come back in. You can't. There's also no way you can do it while you're in here. You have to go out if you're gonna follow I-130. But if you go over the 6 months, then it's 3 years. If you hit 19, then it's 10 years. So you gotta act. Time is crucial, and if you're around this criteria, you have to take a stand and understand that this is something serious. And if you don't act and respond right now, then you're not gonna have another chance unless they approve the Dream Act or do some type of reform. But to be serious, I have no idea when this is gonna happen. This really, I mean, the House is full of Republicans right now, and they're not going to approve the Dream Act. They're just, I know for a fact that this year's not going to pass. And maybe, well, in my opinion, maybe next year, who knows? It might not, it might. But it's not looking good in the House right now. Obama is kind of a liar. I mean, he says one thing to try to get, people to believe him, but the truth is, he's been lying. Like he really has. He hasn't done anything for like illegal immigrants or people who are in this type of situation, like dreamers. Um. So yeah, like I said, if you're 18, you have or on 18 and 6 months. That entire time you have a grace period, and you won't be blamed for staying here. If you stayed over 6 months, or you choose to, then you're gonna have a 3-year bar, because you're accruing unlawful time in the United States as an adult. So if you're an adult accruing unlawful time, then you get penalized 3 years for it. And if you go over a year as an adult, which means if you hit 19, then you're gonna get a 10-year bar. So, I mean, you either have the 3 or the 10 after you turn 18 and 6 months or older. Um, so yeah, this information will be down in the description bar. If you still don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. I'll be also putting it in Spanish, so people can, you know, I mean, this information is out there, but it's not really displayed for anyone to see it. Like, you'd have to get a lawyer and, ask them. You'd have to pay them and all this and make them look for it. Sorry about that. The camera ran out of battery. But what I was saying was before is that this information isn't really displayed anywhere. I mean, unless you're psychic and know all this stuff, or pay a lawyer to, research this stuff, research your case or whatever. Um, you're not gonna get this information. So that was the whole reason of this video, to get this information out there. And if you have a friend or relative or anything, send this video to them so that they may get this information. I mean, it's very useful, and I think it can change someone's life, because if they can't do this, then eventually they can become a citizen, and they won't have a problem with being illegal and etc. You really have to stop blaming the government, because the things are the way they are here, and sympathy is not going to cut it. I mean, crying or explaining your story, they just don't care about sympathies and being sympathetic or anything. So what you have to do is act and look for the choices that are available for you. Um, I'm also going to be putting something else that I didn't mention in here, but that it's also helpful um, to people who who are here illegally, but their parents came in with, let's say, a worker's visa. Sorry, a worker's visa. But I'll be putting all that information down in the description bar below, in Spanish and in English. Um, you can look up Google Translator and translate the information if you speak another language. Uh, so yeah, that's basically it. Uh, send this video around. Get people to watch this video, and get people to look at the choices they have, because it would suck if they just miss out on this very good chance of becoming a citizen, you know, because they didn't know about this, or etc. You know, the person that I know, that she didn't want to be mentioned, but she really is going through a hard time right now, because she didn't know about this information. She just got told it by a lawyer. So what are you gonna do? Uh, yeah, that's it.